The question asks, what percent of the way did the man run if he stopped to rest at 5 centimeters? In other words, if he starts over here and he goes to 5 centimeters, what percent is that distance of the total distance? If he ran all the way to the end, which is 100% of the way, we could say he ran 100% of the way. If he ran half of that distance, so let's see here, how long is this distance here? The distance is, here's 16, and then right here is the 17th centimeter. If he ran half of 17, what's half of 17? 8.5, right? Because half of 16 would be 8. Half of 17 would be 8.5, because 8.5 and 8.5 makes 17. If he ran to 8.5 right here, and he stopped, that would be exactly 50% of the way. Because this here would be half, and this here would be exactly the other half. And that would be 50%, and that other side here would be 50%. But he didn't go that far. In fact, he didn't even come close. He's a little bit out of shape. He stopped to rest over here. The question asks us to find the percent, and we know by now that anytime we are asked to find a percent, we need to pull out our percent formula, which states that you need to divide two numbers and then multiply by 100. So we have to decide what these two numbers are. The total always goes on the bottom. Every single time. The top number is whatever information you are given. So the distance. We are dealing with a distance. How far he went compared to the total. He went 5 centimeters. So let's rewrite this out here. So this is like his distance. Let's get our formula ready first. Now, we are going to write the distance on the top. Let's write 5 centimeters. On our denominator will be the total distance of the racetrack, which is 17 centimeters. We will multiply this answer by 100, and whatever we get will be the answer. So we'll whip out our calculator, we will push the buttons in, we'll go 5 divided by 17, we will push equals, and then multiply by 100. And we get this number. It has a lot of decimals, but do not let that scare you. Do not let that be an excuse to stop doing these questions. All we need to do is stop before the decimal and round this number. This number beside it is a 4, which is less than 5. If it's less than 5, this 9 stays the same and we get 29%. He went 29% of the way. Here we have another question. What percent of the way did the man run if he stopped to rest at 14? It is no different than the last question. We're going to go all the way to 14, which is right here. And then we are going to calculate the percentage. So we will say the percent is equal to 14 centimeters divided by the total. It is no different, say, of how you would calculate a percentage on an exam. You divide your score by the total. Our total here is 17 centimeters. His score is 14. He went 14 before he had to stop. We multiply by 100, and that is going to be our answer. So see if you can do this with me. We're going to push 14 divided by 17. We get that multiplied by 100, and we get 82.35 and a bunch of other decimals, but we don't care about those decimal values. All we care about is that we stop right here and round the 2. Does it round up, or does it stay the same? It stays the same because look what's beside it. It is a number less than 5. We get 82%. So he went 82% of the way in the second example before he had to rest. So this could have been a few weeks later where he's improved his endurance. Now we are going to change the question around, and we are going to be given the percentage, and we have to figure out where he stops for the water break. So make the man stop for a water break 22% of the way. Anytime you are given a percentage, you are going to ask yourself the question, 22% of what? 22% of what? You're just going to say that. You're going to say 22% Of what? But you know of what? It is 22% of the distance. So it's 22% of 17 centimeters. When you are given a percentage, you will convert it into a decimal. And 22% is 22 over 100, which is 0.22. We're going to multiply because that is what of means. And then multiply it by 17 centimeters. Push the buttons into your calculator. Multiply by 17. Push equals, and you get 3.74. So if we round it, now round this to the nearest tenth. Here's the number, 3.74. Pull it out. If we round this number to the nearest tenth, that means we are going to stop at that number here. We're going to stop at this number. But does it stay the same or go up? It stays the same, because beside it is a number less than 5. So he would have to go to 3.7 centimeters, which is right, here's 3. And every one of these will be counted as a decimal point. Here's decimal 5, decimal 6, decimal 7 will be about right there.